What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode on the StayWeighedIn YouTube channel. We're live right now, providing you with a quick instant reaction to the news. Well, the breaking news that's kind of been circulating, but it's now official that Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn is off. Yesterday, when we did our preview show, we thought Eddie Hearn might be able to work his magic, but as today progressed, I think the first telltale signs for me was when the press conference was moved, and it wasn't just moved by an hour, it was significantly moved by 3 hours, meaning that something was in the works, something was happening. And now, as we all know, the fight itself has been called off. And we've just got the statement here from Eddie Hearn himself, and he said, after discussions with various parties, we have taken the decision to formally postpone the bout between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. It is undeniable that the British Boxing Board of Control decision to withdraw their sanctioning was procedurally flawed and without due process. This remains a legal issue between the promoters and the board, which we intend to pursue. However, whilst there are legal routes to facilitate the fight taking place as planned, we do not believe it is in the fighter's interest for those to be pursued at such a late stage or in the wider interest of the sport. As promoters, we take our obligation and duties very seriously, and a full investigation will now take place. We will be making no further comment at this time, and news for ticket holder refunds will follow. So you can see that again if you want to read it back on Eddie Hearn's Twitter page. But I guess now we're in a position where how bad is this for Matchroom and Conor Benn? I said this before, and I even tweeted myself that Chris Eubank Jr. played the role of 60%, but throughout the entire promotion of this fight and leading up to it, he was 100% professional, which can't kind of be said now for Conor Benn and Matchroom. When you look at it for Eddie Hearn, I guess it's a disaster. He's got DAZN, the refunds, the pay-per-view subscriptions. This, alongside what happened with Canelo Triple G, was meant to be the money fights that were potentially looking to get that DAZN subscription, but also that pay-per-view model up and running. And now when you've got people who have signed up for the subscription itself, just potentially for this fight, is it looking like DAZN will have to refund them? How will that go about doing it? For Matchroom itself, for the financial side of things, this has taken a big hurting point for them. I look at Eddie Hearn, I look at Matchroom, and I look at the second half of this particular year, and it's been poor for them. You've had the cash guy, respectfully, with Anthony Joshua losing again to Usyk. Canelo, yes, he lost to Bivol. However, then he went back and won against Triple G. So that in itself helped a bit. But now you look at this, and it's a big setback for them. For Conor Benn, there's going to be a lengthy ban, I'm assuming. As for that, what does that do for his career? We'll have to, obviously, it's a waiting day. But again, like I keep saying, Chris Eubank Jr. comes off as a debate, as someone who's won even though he's lost. And the reason, and sorry guys, I'm just a bit ill. The reason I say that is basically he's come off this, he's followed all the rules, he looked like he was in shape, and now, I think we talked about it before, he's come off a bit of as a fan favourite now. Whilst he still has that arrogant persona, the fact that he delivered and he was on time, he did everything that was needed for him. And now you look at it and you say that this fight's been called off. But it also blows into questioning Chris Eubank Sr. and the fact that it looks like this was something that was known a couple of weeks ago. And when you look at how when Senior's comments came out as well, and maybe this was kind of a ploy to know that the Eubanks knew that something will come out sooner rather than later, and it will make Conor Benn look bad, and boy has it ever made him look bad. But I guess one other thing that we've got to look at now is the guys on the undercard itself. We know that there'll be people who will also have a secondary job whilst boxing. A lot of people look at the professional boxing as a glamorized thing, and it is for those that are headlining events, headlining O2 arenas, stadiums, etc. But when you're fighting on the undercard and you're fighting where there's people that are just literally there for you, as in your friends and family and nobody else, you're not making a lot of money. You still have to get a second job, and for them, it's going to be a paycheck that's lost. And I guess it's down to Eddie Hearn again, Matchroom, to see what they can do to facilitate this. But overall, it's just a really bad look for boxing in general. I guess going forward, Chris Eubank Jr., like I said, nothing wrong with how he's conducted himself. If anything, he now makes himself a more attractive economy, more attractive person in the boxing world. I think with the loss that Triple G had, you could potentially set up that fight as well. Triple G is also a free agent as well, so in terms of the difficulties of that, it shouldn't be there. You could work an arena fight again or two. You could potentially do that. And now I guess we look at Conor Benn and being in this particular part of his career as well. It all depends on the ban. Let's see how long that is, how it unfolds. But it is one of them days where you look at boxing and you just think, why? Why was this even done? You do now also think, why was this fight even made? Because Conor Benn was struggling to bulk up. Chris Eubank Jr. looked like he had everything sorted out for himself. He was able to drop the weight quite comfortably, it seems. Um, but yeah, these are my initial reactions. We're looking to obviously break this down later on in a bit more detail. But I want to hear your guys' view as well. Let us know, are you disappointed? Did you expect that the fight was going to be called off as well? Like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on all our socials. And as always, guys, stay weighted.